Okay, so the first part of this episode, I will bring a couple of social media related topics into this segment. The first part, or at least I should say, first segment of this first part, I just want to quickly talk about a little bit of something related, like NGL app. So basically, it's like a messaging app for people to send to each other anonymously, or at least leave a message on Instagram stories. It's a little weird. It's a trend I've noticed from a few friends of mine. You know, the idea to me doesn't really make sense, and quite frankly, I don't really get it or understand it why. It's kind of creepy at the same time. And I've even noticed one of my friends getting flirtatious, sexy comments and marrying you and all that stuff. So it gets weird. Like it to me, it just encourages a lot of unexpected anonymous creepiness, I should say, like all at the same time. Like I just think it may be a trend, at least maybe at the moment, but I think it'll turn to some fad that will go away soon, and I kind of hope so. I don't really see what the point of it is, and I don't think there's going to be any long-term sustainability since it'll just catch the apparent attention of parents eventually because of kids that are going to be using Instagram even before 18, and they think it's going to be funny and cool, having an NGL app. And you know, I think really more danger will come out of it. Again, I'm not a parent, so I don't care or know or understand, but I just don't see anything good coming out of it. And this will leave plenty of women, to be very much vulnerable to stalkers who open their Instagram accounts publicly. And, you know, for a lot of men who have this habit of thinking like they can get away with or be okay or think it's okay to say something that most women with a lot of high IQ, with class, self-respect, pride, dignity won't really accept. So this is something that's going to be a problem. And I don't think a lot of these mobile development tech teams don't really care too much as long as it really does, bring them some revenue in return. And already the world of social media is catching on into our dopamine. Like it's already feeding so much of our dopamine in our heads, especially for young kids, right? So that's part of the addiction. That's it. And this is why there's this whole fishbowl attention span already. So that's been going on, especially with apps like TikTok for that's going on. Speaking of which, regarding TikTok, a news report has surfaced from a post I saw from the boardroom. It's like a media company, saying that TikTok is projecting to make a revenue of $12 billion this year alone. And that's even bigger than Twitter and Snapchat combined, gonna be making $10 billion this year. Let that sink in. An app like social media app like TikTok specializes in short form videos that's been around since 2017, 2018, gonna make more money than Twitter and Snapchat combined that's been around for even more than a decade, like late 2000s, I think. So that's kind of something. That's a bit concerning because this type of habit with millions of users performing unnecessary lip syncs, inappropriate dance challenges, pretending to be comedians, performing various challenges that requires all sorts of users to perform like different stunts that'll only put themselves and others in danger. And even if there's some kind of challenge that may result in death, which in reality has actually happened, like young kids like dying just because of some stupid challenge they tried to do and got themselves killed. And this is something that really like is becoming a growing concern, And when you think of companies like Google and Meta platforms benefiting from online advertisements, and yet recently they've been hit with antitrust complaints from US, UK, and even European unions over the last few years regarding privacy sharing, data sharing, and all that stuff, or violation of privacy concerns. So this is sort of understandable why there have been complaints from major worldwide organizations and countries around the world. So here's a concerning fact. for TikTok. More US users alone spend their social media time consuming TikTok more than they do on Facebook and Instagram in the US. So most American users on TikTok consume an average of 29 hours per month on TikTok compared to 16 hours on Facebook and 8 hours on Instagram in a month's time. So that's kind of creepy. And you know who's really benefiting now from TikTok especially and even doing well for themselves financially? It's the Generation Z kids, the Generation Z teenagers that are really doing well for themselves and you know taking it beyond what we thought it could be, and trying to make the most of their lives with TikTok. It's not something that I like, but whatever. At least they're rolling with it. However, they make a little bit of money off of it, whatever. At least it'll work. But I don't like how it's a good idea to do some kind of stupid prank or dance moves, and in reality, sorry to say, they don't really have any talent. I'm not going to say any names. I don't have any names in mind, but it's just few observations that I've seen. So I don't know. I don't like where this is going, but it's going to be trending into more of a mental health problem more than anything. Since again, the dopamine thing that I was mentioning before, it'll be very severe as they get older.